The iPhone 15 Pro Max is amazing for taking photos and videos, but my biggest dilemma is that the native iPhone camera app does not give you that much control. And when the phone came out, I had no choice but to shoot in the native camera app if I wanted features like ProRes LOG and 48 megapixel RAW photos. And thanks to our iOS engineer, John, the Moment Pro camera app now features ProRes, Apple Log, 48 megapixel ProRaw, JPEG, TIFF, and HEIF photos, Dolby Vision HDR, and more. So I'm at Disneyland now. I'm just gonna test out the app, see how the new update is looking, and let's have some fun. So far, shooting ProRes LOG in the Moment Pro camera app is really good, and it's actually even better than the native camera app because now I have all the flavors of ProRes to choose from. So I've been shooting everything in ProRes Proxy. That's the smallest ProRes file you can get. And now I'm actually able to shoot in 4K 60 and 4K 48 frames per second without having to use an external SSD. Before, in the native camera app, if you did shoot that way, you had to use an external hard drive or a dongle with a memory card reader. Now in the Pro camera app, you don't have to. So that's actually pretty cool. And now another feature I'm actually excited about is that now I can shoot anamorphic and ProRes LOG in the Moment Pro camera app, and it will de-squeeze the footage for me. In the native camera app, when I was shooting with anamorphic, I had to manually de-squeeze the footage in post. I couldn't do it in the camera app, so this will save me some editing time. So let's get some anamorphic. And after reviewing the footage, I have to say I'm incredibly impressed. Another thing I'm really happy about is that not only can I shoot in 4K 60, but I also shot a ton of 4K 48 frames per second. The reason I opted for 48 frames per second is that you can still slow it down and get a slow-mo shot, but you're also using less memory than you typically would if you shot 4K 60. So this was a great way of conserving memory and also just getting to shoot in slow motion. Now, if you just want a simple shooting experience, say you don't want to shoot in ProRes or LOG, you don't have to. John actually added a few new color profiles that I'll walk you through real quick. So first thing you're going to want to do is go to the settings, and you will just scroll down to video settings once again, and you can just turn Apple ProRes off. And now under video codec, you can choose between HEVC or H.264, which are nice and compressed codecs. Those are going to give you a smaller file size than ProRes. Now the straight out of the camera, great colors are going to be default Rec 709 and wide P3, and HDR 2020 is there if you do want to edit your videos in an HDR timeline. I prefer not to, because if you mix high dynamic range footage and standard dynamic range footage, it's just going to be very complicated for your editing workflow. So I personally don't use it, but it's there if you want it. And for all my photographers out there, Jom did not forget about you either. You can shoot in 48 megapixel ProRAW, JPEG, TIFF, HEIF, and 12 megapixel RAW. So when I first started shooting photos, I wanted to shoot in 48 megapixel ProRAW, and I'll show you how to access that now. You just want to click where it says RAW on the top, and you can select ProRAW. Now under photo settings, the very bottom selection, prefer 48 megapixel photos, so you can just select that. And now you're ready to start shooting in 48 megapixel ProRAW photos. And if you don't care to shoot in RAW, you can get an even smaller file by using the TIFF or HEIF. Both of those will be a smaller file size than the RAW or ProRAW. Overall, I have to say that I am incredibly impressed with this Pro camera update, just because there's been so many new features added into the 15 Pro Max, and now that you can use all those features to their full capabilities, I definitely do recommend getting the Pro camera app if you do want all of that flexibility and control. Feel free to let me know if you have any questions about Pro camera app in the comments below, and we'll see you in the next one.